So Overwatch has taken the world by storm. It's a fast-paced game with amazing action, spectacular characters, and absolutely phenomenal gameplay. Buzzwords aside, this is probably the game that I've sunk the most time into in forever. Between my full-time job, my couple of weeks away, and other commitments, I've managed to sink in about 40 hours of quick play and about 14 in competitive. So while I may not have as much experience as others, I do have something that most don't. I'm loud and I'm opinionated. Here are a couple of things that I want to point out that may help you in future games. Keep in mind, I'm hesitant to call these tips as I'm literally the median of players. I'm currently sitting pretty at a rank of 50 with a top of 53 so far this season, so take everything I say with a pinch of salt. God knows, I usually use about a handful of the stuff shouting at people mid-game anyway. This first point is more aimed towards that one guy from Yugoslavia that you keep running into every game that only ever plays Symmetra and refuses to switch out, but I feel all Symmetra players could benefit from this advice. We all know that finding a good safe place to place your teleporter where it can benefit your team with a quick easy way to get to wherever your team needs to go is pretty much the most important thing when playing Symmetra, but keep in mind that putting it in weird, obscure places may be a good way to confuse the enemy tracer, but you know who else it's going to confuse? Your teammates. One thing you've got to realize while playing Overwatch, especially in solo queue, is this game is pretty much made up of you and 11 kindergartners. You're the responsible adult who's had more than the daily recommended intake of caffeine that has to deal with their hyperactive asses and help them achieve victory. But I'm getting off tangent here. Basically, anything that you think may confuse your enemies has about a 79% chance of confusing your allies just as thoroughly. Let me propose a situation to you, okay? A scenario, if you will. You're playing Reinhardt on Temple of Anubis and you're defending the first point. Through some bullshit RNG or, whatever excuse you run with, you were killed off before you could hammer down on that sweet Mercy that's pocketing their 3 soldiers simultaneously while they all spam "that's sir" to you. They're pushing on the point and you are fuming, but it's okay. You're about to spawn and you still got that tasty ult ready to turn the full push on the attacking team's heads. But, what's this? The Symmetra on your team has placed a teleporter. Freaking sweet, man. Now you can get there even faster and completely wreck face. You walk into the teleporter and start walking towards the objective. Until about 5 seconds later when you realise that you have no idea where the fuck you are because the Symmetra somehow managed to place her teleporter in Hartford, Connecticut circa 1877. Try the ice cream. It's fantastic. And the next thing you know, when you finally figure out which bus line you have to take to get yourself back to Central Egypt, they've taken the point and pushed onto the final one in a bum rush, killed your Torb, fucked your Mercy, and you're stuck dumbfounded with your jaw hanging open as those 3 soldiers ooh-rah their way into play of the game. Basically, to cut a long story short, hiding your telly away from prying eyes is all well and good, yeah, but make sure that it's in at least a somewhat sensible position so your team knows where they're going, okay? Also, just quickly, while we're on the subject, there is an arrow display on the teleporter before you put it down that shows you which direction people will be coming out of it. I know it seems somewhat obvious, but my god, the number of times I've run out of a teleporter and faced first into a wall full of grime and my own disappointment is getting a bit out of hand, so let's try. Alright, listen, I would like to apologize to big fans of Grandmaster Flash and Linkin Park in advance, because this one might trigger you a little. Alright, now this is you. Wait, no, this is you. No, wait, no, this is you. There we go. And this down here is your Mercy. Now I know that you instantly locked in an offense character because you're an alpha male who's going to single-handedly carry the team and you're invincible and you don't need no man, while Bubble Burst you ain't. And sooner or later, when those gates open and unleash the hell of beasts, you're probably going to actually need this little Nazi sympathizer to come up and heal your ass. So in this scenario, we have team member A who needs a heal from member B who happens to have a move that allows her to dash towards the person that she's healing or boosting, or even just somebody that she can see. Are you ready? Are you ready for the joke at the beginning of this segment to make sense? You sure you're ready? Alright, here it comes. This is a ledge. Stand near the fucking thing for the love of Christ. As someone who barely has 3 hours worth of Mercy under his belt, competitive or quick, it is the single most frustrating thing when you're unable to heal someone that keeps calling for healing because they're so much higher up than you and they refuse to move towards the ledge. Hell, I'm not saying that you have to stand next to the edge permanently. Just poke your head over every now and again. Shoot the shit, see what's good, ask what my favorite Tool album is, anything that will bring you over long enough for me to patch you up and make everything all Gravox, okay? Alright. Oh, this last one, I swear, nothing upsets me more than this. Okay, so the payload is pushing, right, and you're on defense. It's approaching the final point and there's 30 seconds on the clock. On most maps, the last capture point is practically rubbing its ass up against the spawn room, all seductive like. Like, a couple more minutes of grinding and that spawn room is going to be guiding the point back to the club bathroom for some wink wink happy fun time. This analogy got a bit weird. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that 30 seconds is more than enough time for everyone to regroup, come together, organize yourselves, and try for that one last offensive pushback. Bar someone on your team playing a Tracer or maybe even a Genji that can quickly get to the payload and distract the enemy team while still staying alive, no one should just be spawning and running the fuck in face first with their balls exposed, screaming and promptly getting a face full of bullets, lasers, and icicles from the 6-stack team. For the love of all that is holy and unholy, please, if you hit that tab button that you usually use to make sure that your scores are comparable to the size of your E-dick, you will be able to see if anyone who died recently is respawning at the same time as you. If there is, your best course of action is to sit tight and wait for that big cuddly monkey with the weapon of mass destruction to spawn, so that when you round the corner to defend that last point, there's someone bigger and uglier that the enemies may try shooting at, and maybe you guys will get something done. And please keep in mind, in a situation where the overtime meter is ticking and you're the only one alive, feel free to run out there and try and buy your team some time. Just make sure that you switch to someone who can get there quickly and stay alive in the process. That piggy may be your favourite, but in last point situations, he's more like the wide side of a barn with an electromagnet attached to a sign that says free target practice, bullet sponge included. Hey guys, so just quickly I just wanted to say thank you very much for tuning in and watching the first video that I've published in a long time. I've been very inactive, getting my life sorted and all that kind of junk, but I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be sure to be doing more videos kind of like this in the future. Maybe the same format, maybe not. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I hope you guys had a delicious lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever, and yeah, peace out.